Hello, collective. Welcome to the Moon Report. My name is Marlene, the modern mystic and the best-selling author of Wisdom in Bloom. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Moon Report. We have a full moon in Virgo, and I am starting here with the chart because I really want to show you some of the aspects that are going on around this full moon. This full moon is in Virgo, but it kind of feels like it's in Aquarius. There's a lot of Aquarian energy, and that has to do with some aspects that are going on. So we're going to dive right in. The the full moon is happening Saturday, February 24th at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So this is coming a little bit early, but if you are watching it a little bit early, you might be already like sensing the energy of the full moon. And I feel like it's been really strong coming into tomorrow. Um, Pisces is also one of the front runners here. There are a lot of emotions around this moon. So here is the moon at 5 degrees of Virgo, and it is opposing the sun in Pisces. And the sun in Pisces is conjunct Saturn and Mercury. So there's a lot of Piscean energy going around as well. And we may be feeling overly emotional. The full moon is illuminating relationships. And I know we've been talking about relationships, but here's the sobering moment, right? Like here is a culminating moment. It feels a lot of um again Piscean because it feels like an ending. It feels like a cycle is coming to an ending, and maybe many things are coming to an end. And we have been on this kind of theme of relationships for quite some time. If you've been hanging out in the moon reports, we've been talking about relationships. And this has to do right now primarily because we have Pluto, Venus, and Mars in Aquarius. And Jupiter here in Taurus is squaring this. It's not a stellium because well, actually it's three or more, but there's just a lot of energy here, and that primarily has to do with Pluto in this aspect. And when you t anything that touches Jupiter in any way is going to be expanded. And since we are having a square here, this is a difficult conversation between these aspects. And what's being expanded here is relationships. We also have Chiron over here in Aries with the North Node. And that also, this axis right here with the North Node and South Node in Aries and Libra has to do with relationships. And that's also playing a big part in terms of our wounds around relationships. And again, these are themes that are not new to us. And we've gone through a moon cycle now where we've gone from the new moon to the full moon. And what's being illuminated, pardon, is that we're ready to release. What we're ready to release, that's up to you. But we are definitely ready to move on from something. And it's sobering in that way because it feels really final. And you may be in your feelings due to all of this activity over here in Pisces. That is really here. There's definitely a stellium going on with Neptune also added here to the bunch. So, you know, this is maybe stirring things from the past that need to just stay in the past. And we may be in our feelings about it. and there might be some sadness around it. And what this moon in Virgo promises is that it's for your betterment, that whatever's going on here that feels final, that it's ready to go, it's ready to be released, is being released for your own good. And the more that you resist it, the more uncomfortable that the journey is going to be. Because the journey is going to happen, and Pluto promises us that. Pluto is this kind of energy and planet that is like change or be changed. It will give you the opportunity to change, but change is coming and it's inevitable. So, how are you going to approach this journey? Are you going to approach this journey in a way where you're going to go kicking and screaming and resisting the entire time? Or are we going to flow? Are we going to try to understand? Are we going to allow ourselves to die to whatever needs to go so that we can invite something new? And this energy, this Aquarian energy is big. It's big and it's weird. We're all adjusting to it. I know you guys have felt weird. If you come to these moon reports and you watch, I know you've felt the weirdness of Aquarius. And we may be walking away from relationships. We may be walking away from ideas. We may be walking away from work or certain career moves, maybe career partnerships. We are definitely walking away from the past. We are definitely leaving something behind. So it's a good time to have ceremony around cutting ties, unbinding, really becoming clear. And let me just say this as a disclaimer for just ever. When you are going to do ceremony, when you decide to do ceremony or ritual, please approach it with a clear mind and a grateful heart, no matter what the situation is. And if you can't get yourself to that place of a clear mind and a grateful heart, don't do ceremony. Wait until that moment happens, because time and space is an illusion. And there is really no time clock on when you can heal from something or when you're ready to let something go. And especially with ceremonies of cutting ties and unbinding yourself from people, places, or things, like this is some serious work that has its consequences, because everything that we do in this dimension has a cause and effect. It has a duality, a polarity. So don't go into a cutting ties ceremony when you have something left to heal before you cut the ties. Because A, it's not going to work. And B, you may complicate things and stir the pot, because whenever you cut something, it has a ricochet effect that comes, it kind of takes a little pull back before it pulls forward. So when we cut something from our lives, let's be sure we're ready to deal with the ricochet, deal with the consequences of our choices, be able to stand steady and in our truth when we make decisions, especially about relationships where there's a certain amount of grief that's involved in whatever relationship it is that you're leaving behind due to whatever situation is going on. So just be clear whenever you approach something like ceremony or ritual and you're cutting ties or you're leaving something behind or you're releasing something. And if you're ready to do that, this is a fantastic moon to do that, because Virgo is very efficient and precise. So when it's ready to go, it'll do a really great job. It's eager to do a really great job to get the result, to get the outcome that you're looking for, right? So think about it because it's time to face it, whatever it is. It is relative to each and every one of you who's listening. Whatever that is, you're ready to deal with it, you're ready to face it, and you're ready to move on. If you choose confusion, Virgo's here to tell you it's your choice. If you choose, I don't know, illusion or delusion, it's your choice. Because this full moon in Virgo is illuminating with preciseness. Or is that a word? Preciseness. I don't know. Is it? Yes. Okay. My live people here nodding. Because Virgo wants to do a good job. This is what Virgo lives for, efficiency. Yes. So know that you're in Piscean energy as well. So you may be a little bit emotional about it. You may not be seeing things clearly. Pisces rules illusion and delusion and vices and addictions. And let's go escape and let's go have fun and let's go dig ourselves into a deeper hole when it's expressing its shadow archetype, right? Every sign has a story. Every sign has an archetype. And Pisces is ruled by Neptune. So, you know, there may be some like weird smoke and mirrors going on. So just expect and accept your feelings. You know, just be real and, don't worry about it. Like there is a process. And if you're in your feelings now, you know, as the moon begins to go back to its new phase, the light of the moon will begin to diminish, and so will your feelings, right? You'll start to see things like, you know, in a way where you can begin to move forward. But don't be afraid to feel, don't think you have to fix it. It's Virgo's here to remind you that it's your choice. And if you want to execute it, it's at your fingertips. And it is kind of a sobering kind of moon because it has this kind of like no bullshit energy to it. Like you've lied to yourself enough if that's what you've been doing. Or we've molded over in the not so merry-go-round of your brain a million times, and it's time to put it to rest for everyone involved, including yourself. So, yeah, it sucks. And I want to be compassionate to anybody's feelings. But this moon is here for our betterment. So just know that on the other side of this, whatever that is, again, relative to you, it's better on the other side of just going through it, facing it, dealing with it, and moving on from it in a real way with precision. The energy is supporting that. So good for you. It's good news. So, whatever you're feeling right now, my heart is with you. If you're celebrating right now, celebrate to the max. If you're in a not so celebratory mood, then self-care and, you know, begin to either with clearing your energy or with self-care or maybe some journaling, begin to clear yourself of, whatever's bringing you down, whatever's in your thoughts, whatever's heavy in your heart. And all of us here at Anima Collective are supporting you and are holding space for you as we always do by just joining, by just being here, by just being present in the community. This is a great place to get support. So wherever you are in whatever stage of this full moon, I send you love, and I'm here, always available for any kind of chats, for any kind of support. You know where you can reach me on Mighty Networks, send me a DM, or if you're watching this on YouTube, get into Anima Collective because it's the place to be. And, you can always find me on Instagram at The Modern Mystique or on Facebook at Marlene Menendez or on my website, marlenemenendez.com. Stay in touch. Stay in touch. And if you're watching this on the replay, and you're curious about more of what I was talking about, let's start a conversation in the thread below. Let's engage. Let's come together. And I'm here for any questions. So big hug, everyone. Be well. Enjoy this full moon and enjoy this weekend. Ciao.